Boom, boom. This is Kendra. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Soland Reloaded up today. So I just wanted to do a video here real quick. We got some information. I had one of my subscribers, Edwin, send me a notification yesterday and describe some of the new stuff. So thanks a lot for the info, Edwin. We'll get to that here shortly and talk about that. But it give us a little bit better idea for planning. He managed to pull some information from the China server, the CN server. So hopefully they seem to be following, China server seems to be following global pretty closely. So it looks like that's what we'll get in terms of what we're going to be seeing in the future. So really, really good information. All right, so we're in the middle of the Cosmo Protector. It looks like this is probably going to be pretty good. The problem is they've worded it a little vague. So, but it seems like this WAP actually won't be that bad of an actual weapon. It doesn't look like it's going to pull any healing from anything. But once you start leveling it up and start placing in fittings and stuff like that, if you decide to do that, it's going to get a lot better. So we should be pretty good. I don't think it's going to be much in terms of trouble. But it's an SS plus, so it's not something we're going to be able to level up quickly anyway. So we'll have to look at that. But as you can see, I've cracked 1400. Got a lot of inside of the Cosmo Protector, and inside of just basically the rewards that you get just for logging on. I managed to do a lot of hidden weapon upgrades and stuff. So that's where a lot of it came from, bringing everything up to 100 and whatnot. And putting some stars on my SS pluses and upgrading them. So I was able to go ahead and hit 1,409 million. Just blasted right through it. So we're in pretty good shape there. So other than that, everything else is pretty same. They do got the weekly gift bag up. This is really, for me, this is not, I got both of these maxed out. They're completely fully upgraded. So there's nothing I can do in terms of that. Plus, I've got like 60 shards for these just sitting around. So I don't see the need to spend any diamonds on purchasing. But if you do not have either the Phoenix or the Scorpion maxed out, you should definitely something that you should purchase because those are you can get their SSs and you can get those maxed out and use those in the interim while you're working on your SS pluses. Okay, because that's basically what everybody's going to be. Is while you're working on SS plus weapons, you want to be, you can max out the SSs and use them, and then once you get a couple of stars, a couple of upgrades into your SS pluses, you can start moving them in. What I like to do is to just move them in and check the damage. If the damage stays the same. Then I'll go ahead and decide to keep them in, okay? Because the others are maxed out, so I know I'm not going to be able to get any more out of them, but I can always continue. And you can focus on the SS plus. Usually around 2 or 3 stars on an SS plus, it's going to be equivalent to or begin to exceed a fully maxed out SS plus, okay, or SS, okay? That's just that's just the base stats. SS pluses are a lot better, so. It doesn't take as many stars before you begin to get the effects. Soul bones, of course, if you go to build these, definitely want to get this. This is 2 pieces. Okay, it's 60 for each pieces. You got 4 pieces, so 100. You can purchase this twice, so that's 2 pieces right there. So that's something definitely that you want to look at. I've got enough to build a whole other set that I haven't been used yet, so I'm going to hold off on that. Just because we're going, Cosmo Protector is going to be ending here in a couple of days, so I want to make sure that. I get ready for the next event that's going to be coming out. And we're going to talk a little bit about the new info that we got right now. So, Edward, one of my subscribers, posted this yesterday. He pulled this information from the actual, this is what's been released on the China server. So, as you can see, we've got all of our releases in order. So, as you can see, they've pretty much, this is exactly the same order that we got them, okay? So what the next level is going to be SSS. So we're going to have triple S's. Some of the games do that. Usually SSS, or triple S, is the last. That's the end game, quote, so to speak, characters, and that will be the final level. Okay, so this is what we're going to be seeing. So we're going to be seeing Dai is going to get a triple S. Uh, Ling Ling, Liu Gao, Erming, Zuzik, and uh, these are probably going to be. This is probably going to be SSS triple S's are probably going to be the final level in terms of characters. Okay, but and also we're going to be getting Tang San next. We were a little bit sure if it was going to be Wu or Tang San. It's going to be Tang San. Okay, and it's going to be his Sea God version, of course, because that's what he, that's he becomes the Sea God. Okay, in the trials, and then Soft Bone Wu. That's going to be the next one, and then they're going to be switching to this. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the process is for. What are we going to be looking at in terms of stat difference? Is an SSS going to be obtainable just like the SS pluses are, or are we going to have to do a little bit more? So this is where we're going to have to, this is what will make determine what and whether or not the game continues to be in its current state. Um, so our next healer is going to be Ling Ling. Okay. We're going to have another tank of Ermeng, but basically it's going to be physical and magical DPS as expected. As we know, Tank Santa, we're going to be there. Of course, going to be physical DPS as they are always. So Tank Santa is going to be next. Interestingly enough, I guess this we'll probably see SS triple S versions of these in the future. I would assume. I am really interested in this. She was exceedingly powerful. She was she was an A plus is what her original entry was. She does not have an S or an SS or an SS plus. She was stressing she was an A plus character. Uh, Excellent damage. I used her. I used her. She would almost be in my team still. BB Dong ended up focusing on BB simply because BB was an S and she's my favorite character. But you did a bunch of damage. She got me through mid halfway to the game. She was an excellent character. She did excellent damage. So having a triple S on her is probably going to be exceedingly powerful. So that's one we're definitely going to be looked to. Zoo, of course, final form for Zoo. So definitely going to be something you might want to consider for PvP. Ermeng, Lu Gao, those are all Ling Ling. Those are all characters uh, that will have to see, what type of, you know, format they're going to be using for them, what type of skill they have, what do they do, okay, and determining, of course, going to triple S is we have to, like I said, we're going to have to determine the base stats here, okay, and then of course, Die, of course, we know Die. He did, he was generic inside of the SS. He was one of the first group of characters. Not a good character. Um, didn't do much damage, and he was very, very, very. Uh, he died a lot, and he died fast. Okay, so he was the free character. He was the free SS that you gave you. So naturally, they're not going to give you the best SS. It's just one that you can get started on. I did use him, and I leveled him up to a couple. But in the end, he was being surpassed. He was surpassed pretty quickly, and you were able to start getting the other SSs. Your you know your Taxans, your Chens, the Azure Dragon, all of those you were able to get fairly quickly, so you didn't really have to use the die in a main team. Okay, I still use him. He's still one of my support characters, but in terms of main team, he was able to be phased out fairly quickly. Okay, and that's what I did. I mean, for a while I used S Ren as my tank. He was one of my attackers. BB was one of my attackers, and then I had the S version of Ah Yin as my healer, and that was basically my first build team that was the first team, tank, healer, two attackers. That was the first team that I created. It did not last very long because progression in the game at that level was exceedingly fast. They were coming out with characters. Uh, they already had they when they initially came out with the game, they had I think it was five. I think they had five SS characters. They gave you die, but the others were there. You just had to get the shards for them. So, and the shards were available. You could do them through events. So you were able to quickly get the shards needed to create the characters. So that team didn't stick around long. That's the team I used to get high enough to start getting the chests that had the shards for the SS characters. But then I started phasing those out. Okay, and then they started releasing the SS pluses. You know, uh, and we've got all of those now. So everything's been from a standpoint of obtaining. If you're patient, usually within a couple of months, a month and a half, 2 months, you can get the character as long as you're consistently log on and participate in the events when for that character. The event's only up for 3 days, so if you don't like, if there's a week where you don't log on, and that happens to be when they push out an event for that character, you will not be able to get that character at that time. It'll have to be pushed off in the future when they have other shards. But then, of course, you're going to have to use shards for another character that you might need. So you're basically going to be behind getting a character. So but they're giving us shards at a pace enough, and there's other way to get shards too. So, but that's where we're at this point. So it looks like Triple S is going to be our next level. I would assume this is going to be the final level. I don't think they'll have a Triple S plus. This should be where we get in terms of that, but we'll have to make a determination. But yeah, I think these are all going to be good. We're definitely going to give them a try. I do like the fact that they do have a Triple S healer out there, and they do have a Triple S tank. If they were going to have, another level, I would like to see a team build consisting of that. So we've got a healer, 2 DPS, and attack. So this is a full team of SS Triple S right here. So we'll have to see, we'll have to see, are they going to be giving those out the same way you get the SS pluses? Or will they be done on a different, like, event basis where you do an event and you get like 20 or 30 shards that way? We'll have to make a determination once we start seeing those come out as to how we're going to go. But it does look pretty good, and thanks again to Edwin for posting that information, and he got that from the China server. And it looks like China's pretty much, that global's pretty much being matched. So it looks like the order has been set. So at least we know what, that looks like to be probably looking, that's probably a good 7 or 8 months in advance right there. From that list of characters right there, so we can pretty much make a plan on that. So you might want to definitely keep that in mind. If you want to take a screenshot of that right there, and get the ones coming out. Wrong's coming out. Then we're going to have Tang San Wu. So 2 more characters. Then we're going to switch to the Triple S's. And we're going to be seeing these. So this will allow you to plan a little bit better in terms of what you want to focus on. Okay, and then hopefully. After Tang San gets released, we'll start seeing some indications as to how the Triple S's are going to be done. How easy will it be to get chests and things like that? Because that's one of the things with the SS Plus is getting numerous shards for them is exceedingly difficult. But considering now that we do have another level, so that has to go into your planning too to make a determination. But we're definitely going to go full tilt on Wrong. We're going to get her, going to max her out, put her in as the healer. And that will be the team going out. And then that's the team that we'll be entering into when we start getting the Triple S characters. And we'll see how much of a difference they are at base stats. I assume they're going to be more powerful. In some of the other games, the Triple S's are harder to get. Okay, hopefully they won't be put behind a paywall. That would ruin the game, definitely, if they did that. But based on what I've seen so far, I don't think that they're going to be doing that. We'll most likely have a similar format. And hopefully they'll continue to use the S characters to level, to upgrade them. I hope they don't switch to using SS shards to upgrade them, but they might do something like that. We'll just have to wait and see, where it could be a possibly different matter altogether. They did change the divine skills. If you look at your character for your divine skills from an SS, as you can see, the divine skill was set just basically on getting shards and duplicate. But the actual divine skill for the others changed into a basis format. You have to do all 4 of these, and then you get another star, and all 4. And they don't give you the shards very quick, and it increases quite fast. So we'll have to see. If they do come out with SS, hopefully we'll start to see SS and SS plus shards become more commonplace. I'd like to see places where you can actually farm them. Events that they'll have chests for them. Right now, there's really no events. None of the events event shops have SS plus shards. They do have SS shards, but these are not for 2 characters I would choose. Definitely the last 2 characters I would choose in terms of that. This one's a little bit better. So that's where I was able to max her out using a lot of this as well too, her hidden skill. And we've right here a good shard, of course, really, but this is the check-in shop, so it's limited to how many you can get out of there. But this is one of the ways that I use to level up, max out Ayen's divine skill, and maxed out Ayen's, maxed out Chen's. Almost got one more set for him, and one more set for him, 400 right there. So that's where I'm at in terms of that. So I've got a lot of these maxed out. Her divine skills maxed out as well too. So and a lot of that came from this chart right here. I'm trying to build it back up a little bit, because as you can see, it's only taking 1,000, so I'll probably just go ahead and grab them. It resets it a month. Okay, so it's one of those things. It's not something you need to purchase immediately. You can wait until you've got get the shards up and then purchase it that way. But it is good. It is a good setup. So yeah, so we got some information. So Taxan's going to be next. SS plus Sea God version of him. Surprising, based on the fact that they were having SSS characters. I thought they would have waited. I thought that he would be the first SSS, would be my assumption. Triple S Sea God Tank Sam would have been the logical assumption. It's interesting that they're introducing him into an SS plus form, which leads me to believe they'll probably have an SSS form of him. Have to see. But that's something we'll find in the future. I assume that they'll be introducing more characters. This is just a snapshot of where we are at right now. And this gives everybody a little bit information as to proceed. If there are certain characters you're very interested in, you might want to skip one of the characters and wait for that character. Just build up an excess of shards for that character. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that goes. But in the meantime, we'll just wait. Sometime next week, end of next week, we'll get that 3rd event. We'll get the new character, which will be Tank San. He'll pop up here. You'll know the event's coming a day or 2 before they have the actual event. You'll see him pop up here. So I check this, starting this weekend. I'll be checking it on a daily basis. And you'll see Tank San pop up here. Okay. And then shortly after that, or the day after, or the day of, we'll have that event for him. And you'll be able to get some of the shards for him. And there'll be a Soul Master sale. And there'll be a chest in there with the 20 shards remaining for Wrong Wrong. So you'll be able to get Wrong Wrong. So that's the way it's been. That's the way it goes. It's the way it's been so far. Now, get 2 minutes in like that on through to Wu. And then we'll see how they're going to do the triple S characters and some format. How they introduce what shards are needed to actually, upgrade them. Will it be same? Will it be different? What the base stat difference is. Are we looking at something, like, I know in one of the games, I can't remember the game, I think it was Angel, I can't remember, Angel something. I played it a long time ago. and uh, they had triple S characters, and they had SS characters. They didn't have SS plus, but to get you, you needed you had to participate in certain events, and based on your placement in those certain events would determine how many of the shards you would get in the chest. They didn't have any special event designated for them. They just had chests, and you got those through events. There wasn't any, like in this game. There's specialized events where you get shards just participating in an event. This had to be done from a PvP server-wide thing. It was interesting. Um, Unfortunately, not very useful because, as always, it was heavily on the pay-to-win side. So it was really difficult. It took a really, really long time to get the shards. Um, it's not a game I played for very long. But it had been around for quite some time. And the triple S's were the final level of that as well. So this is not something that's, triple S is not something that's new. It's been used in a couple of the games, and it usually denotes the highest level of characters. I don't know. Uh, I would assume that that's going to be the same thing here, based on what you're familiar with. But this game's been breaking a lot of ground in the fact of how free to play friendly it is, surprisingly. So we'll have to see what they do and what changes with this new level. All right, but it's something to look forward to. So get in there, knock that out. Cosmo Protector. Go ahead and make sure that you do complete that. Get your logon rewards, and make sure that you getting ready because Wrong's going to be coming out here sometime next week, and we'll do a full video on that, beefing her up. I should be able to max her. I know I'll be able to take her to 5 Sun, and I should be able to. I think I've got all the mats farmed to get her into red 2, maybe red 3, almost immediately. I could be a little bit wrong about that. It's really hard to find out what rings you need on all levels and find them, farm them. It's exceedingly difficult. So there's really, because there's so many levels, you've got 3 levels, and you have to go into the epic and stuff. So, but I think I got it worked out, and I think that I've got enough. Plus, you need to make sure that you have double soul rings because there's usually 2 pieces in each set will require those soul rings. So you need double because you have to do it for both pieces. So I made sure I farmed double on those as well. So I think I got it right. But we'll see whenever Wrong gets introduced sometime next week. All right, so again, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe and, of course, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you get notified each time I drop a video. Ken Rear, still in the corner, still coming at you, signing out.